I am Dana K. White of aslobcomesclean.com, and I am going to talk about how taking it there now means requiring myself to find a place for everything forces me to actually make decluttering decisions, sometimes ones that are hard, about things that other people wouldn't think are hard, like dealing with this. Okay, so I know. Wow, that is huge in this frame. Let me tell a little story about this. So I got this when I was around 21, maybe, in Hong Kong. My dad had taken me with him on a business trip to Hong Kong, okay? So we got to Hong Kong, and it was a great experience, had a great time. And as part of his business thing that he was doing, they did some sort of a skit night at the end. Evidently, that's what corporate people like to do. Anyway, but they did this skit night, and one of the groups was doing The Wizard of Oz, and this is what someone had gotten them for the lion to wear. When they were done, they were like, you know who would like this? Dana. She's a theater person. She would think this is cool. So I'm pretty sure they had this thing shipped home just for me. All right. So I kept it. If I was 21, it's been almost 30 years. Oh my word. Anyway, but I have kept this thing for a very long time, thinking of it as something highly sentimental to me. Even though technically I didn't pick it out. It was just something given to me as something that I should like. And I did like it, okay? So for the last 15 years, it has been in my attic at my old house before we moved. And I knew it was there. I was able to play the hero when my oldest son, I think, was in kindergarten and they studied China. And I said, oh, I've got this thing that I got in Hong Kong. And so I sent it with him. I knew exactly where it was. There was a box in the attic that said Dana's Dragon Head. Okay. So I had sent that with him. Yay. I thought, well, I can't get rid of it because obviously my other two kids are going to want me to take it to school to show their class too. They never did. Anyway, so here we are. I had kept this for all this time. Well, we just moved. And so I had the Dana's Dragon Head box that I came across. And I realized, you know what? My goal in this house is to not put anything that isn't seasonal in the attic. Partly because I haven't figured out where the attic is yet. I'm pretty sure we have one, but whatever. I just decided I'm going to try not to do that. I'm not giving that as a absolutely not. That's just my goal. So I said, well, okay, then if I'm going to keep this, which obviously I need to keep it. Oh my word, it's huge. Obviously I need to keep this thing because, you know, it's sentimental. Who knows when I'm going to be in Hong Kong again? I don't know. I wouldn't ship it home myself. Like, it's very fragile. Someone shipped it home for me. But obviously I need to keep it. Duh. So I have to find a place for it. And I was like, okay, this is all while I was looking at the box, but I hadn't pulled it out yet. And I thought, okay, where would I look first for this as an actual item in my home? Not stored, but an item in my home. Like decor, I guess. And I thought, okay, not in the living room, okay. You know what? I have a display cabinet that at this point is just, I mean, it's nothing at this point, okay? So it's what used to be the dining room. I'm not using it as a dining room. I'm not using it as anything yet. It's technically the dog's room right now. But I do have ideas for it. And that display cabinet is kind of where I've been saying, okay, if I think something is going to end up in that display cabinet, I'm going to go ahead and take it there right now, even though it's not put together. It's blah, blah, blah. It's got other stuff in there that shouldn't be it, but I am going to take things there right now. So I took this there right now. Well, when I did that, instead of just leaving it in that box and saying, oh, well, of course I need to keep that, which is the way I used to declutter in the olden days, I had to look at it and I pulled it out and I went, yeah, those are not the colors that it was in my brain. These are a lot brighter colors than it was, you know, inside my mind and in my memory. And so I thought, oh, okay. So I went and I put it there. Well, it took up a lot of space because it's humongous, right? So it took up a lot of space in there. And I lived with it for a while. And I would walk by and I would think, yeah, that is so, yeah, no. No, no, not as a display thing. That's the place where I have to display this. Then I'm not going to leave it displayed there. So I decided it needed to go. And then I thought, oh, you know what I do have that I know for sure I want to keep that could go in this spot that needs a place to go that I found in the garage in my boxes? This same trip, but I picked it out for myself. Why? Because my mom had a ceramic bulldog in her house that I always loved when I was little. And I'm like, oh, here's a version of that for my own house. And it's very much definitely, I remember, I see this and I'm like, oh yes, I got that when I went to Hong Kong. I picked this out. This has real sentimental value to me, as opposed to, oh, Dana would like that sentimental value. That's also huge. Not something I want to have out all the time. I don't have a place where this actually fits. And so I decided this needs to go. This is going to stay in that spot, okay? Here's the thing. When I have the take it there now as part of my process, it forces me to make a decision. I don't just get to say, yes, I want to keep it. If I'm going to keep it, I have to ask myself, where would I look for this first? And then I take it there now. And by doing that, I actually end up making decisions and doing things. And so many times when I take it there now, I realize, oh yeah, it's not the colors that it was in my head. It doesn't fit in that space the way that it did in my head. All these things of like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is how this is going to play out. I am forced to confront reality when I take it there now. And I realize it really doesn't fit either size-wise or decor-wise. And then it helps me be willing to let go because I know what I'm actually dealing with, because I went ahead and I acted on that and I took it there now, okay? Here's the thing. I've said this before. I know y'all have heard me say this. I mean, if you're new, welcome. But those of you who've been around a while, I cannot stand the phrase, a place for everything and everything in its place. And the reason I can't stand that phrase is that that's what organized people say. And it is true, but it doesn't actually give you any way to go about making that happen, okay? Like, yes, an organized house, a house that's under control, has a place for everything and everything in its place. I couldn't even fathom how to make that happen in my house, okay? Like, I was just like, you're acting like it's that simple, and it's not that simple for me because I don't have a place for everything, okay? Through the process of getting rid of the stuff that did not fit, like it was never going to fit in my house because I just had more stuff than can possibly fit in my house, getting rid of that stuff, embracing the reality of the space that I had, getting rid of the trash, the easy stuff, my whole decluttering process that I teach in my book, Organizing for the Rest of Us, all of that helps me get to the point where I have a place for everything and everything can be in its place, okay? Like that's how I have so I can get there, but there's a lot before just this simple little phrase that's supposed to solve everything. There's a big process of getting to that. But so many times, my reason why that phrase drove me crazy is I was like, I don't have a place for everything. I just don't. The way I determine a place for things, where something is going to go, is by asking myself the first decluttering question. If I needed this item, where would I look for it first? It's a little ambiguous with something like this, but I just go on my instinct. Even if I'm not confident in that instinct, I say, okay, I want this thing to be decor and not be stored, all right? So if I was looking for this item as decor in my house, where would I look for it first? That cabinet. And then I take it there now. And so I have a place for it, but taking it to the place then reveals, oh yeah, that's not a good place for it. It doesn't really have a place that it can go in this house, therefore it needs to go. But as long as I'm just thinking I want to keep it, could I ever use it? Oh yeah, guarantee I could find a way to use this at some point in my life. I could come up with lots of reasons why I should keep it. But the reality is I don't have a place for it. And if my house is going to be under control, things have to have a place. So I can't have it in my house if it doesn't have a place and my house still be under control. See what I'm saying? Okay. I know this is a super short version of what took me years to learn, okay? But what I've learned is in my books, it's in my videos. You can do this too. Start with the trash, okay? And just commit to taking it there now. When you make these decisions, commit to taking it there now, because then it helps you not be living in this what if fantasy world. Oh, probably this is how things. No, it makes me confront the reality and then embrace that. And embracing reality is so good for my home. And also, there's value in living with something for a while. Y'all, I didn't immediately take it there and go, duh, no. I took it there and I was like, yeah, something's not right about this, but this is where I would look for it first. And so I'm going to take it there right now. I'm going to put it right in there. Really. And then living with it for a while made me realize, yeah, no, that's not the look that I want there. And so now I'm going to donate it in the box that says Dana's Dragon Head. And I know for a fact that somebody somewhere is going to be thrilled to find this amazing condition dragon head at a thrift store, right? It's going to be a huge find for someone. Mama, whose 4-year-old finds this and wants to keep it, you're welcome. I do want to say I'm so sorry that we forgot credits last week. It was crazy. It's been crazy lately. You know, Reed's graduating this year. Anyway, it's a crazy time of year. So we will not forget them again, right? Right, Reed? Okay, we won't forget the credits again. We're sorry about that. Just imagine the funniest thing you can think of. That's probably what we would have said last week. So here goes. Here's this week's credit.